So this is a different filming location than our usual. This is actually my living room. It is, as you can see, quite gray. We have a few little bits of color, but overall it is we were being very safe whenever we bought all the things, and honestly, we were quite young. It was 3 years ago, pandemic. We moved into an apartment knowing we weren't going to stay in that area for long, so we wanted things like an IKEA sofa that we could very easily break down and move with us. So the entire room is kind of a Mod Podge. Cam is very mid-century modern. He really likes that, and to a point, I also do like mid-century modern. I, however, lean a little bit more towards antique and traditional, kind of moody, French country, the things that are super popular right now. That's what I've always kind of leaned in towards. I like bold, but I also want to feel like I can sit down on my couch and take a nap and put my feet up, and it's not going to be like an issue. So with that said, we are going to do a little living room series makeover. Nothing's going to be crazy. We're not painting, but I just want to make this place really cozy. We are here for another year, and there are certain aspects, because we are moving to the other side of the country, we're not going to keep things like the sofa. We're not going to keep things like our TV stand. But for right now, I want to add in things that not only work for the space we have, but the space that we will have later. So that means new pillows, it means new artwork into our frames that we have. I have a TV with a gallery wall, and while I still love the gallery wall, the pictures in the gallery wall are quite old, and I would prefer to have them just updated. I am going to go more towards a vintage, kind of like hand-drawn sketched ones, as well as landscape paintings, very French country, very antique. That's what's going to be there. I am keeping the frames. The black frames work with our black TV, and also bring in a very mid-century modern because of our TV stand being so mid-century modern. It really does help tie the whole thing in together. I feel like if I added gold frames, it would clash a little bit, and having wood so close together with the frame and then the wood on the TV stand, it just feels like I would have to match it too closely and it would become a whole issue. So we're going to keep the black frames, but we're going to change out the art. Now, as far as this TV hutch goes, this is going to, of course, be staying. I really love this. We ended up getting it for $15 at a thrift store in Denver, so it's definitely staying with us. I'm going to clean up this area and these two shelves as well. They are a mess, and I'm not going to make you have to see any of this, but we're going to clean this out. And like I said, we're going to change all the art prints inside, but we are keeping the frames, and the whole layout is going to stay the same. Having you a little bit further down, one of the big projects that we are going to tackle in this series is actually refinishing this coffee table. This has been in Cam's family for years. It is actually a wedding gift that his uncle gave to his parents when they got married. So we're going to refinish it. It is completely done. The entire finish on the top is gone. The legs are really not in bad shape, but we do want to make this darker. We are thinking an espresso stain, just because with the color of the TV stand, we would like this to be a darker color. It would also work way better with our future living room that will have a bit more moody texture to it. These poofs are going to be staying. We do enjoy it quite a bit, and they're actually quite useful. Cam and I play chess every now and then, so one of us will sit on the couch while the other one sits on these poofs, and we can kind of go back and forth together. So the poofs will be staying. They're a really great cream color. We have two of them. They're the exact same. I believe they are from Amazon. I can link them down below. It's just a really great secondary seating that doesn't take up a lot of room in the entire space. The living room is quite large, but the more furniture that you add, the less room you have to move. So these are great, and it also helps when we have guests over. We can move these around as needed, and it's also extra seating in case we want to all hang out together and not some of us be on the floor. So I'm sure you probably know this, and I'm sure I've probably already talked to you about this, but it literally went from a cleaning day to a let's reorganize the entire living room and rearrange it. So the previous clips, you would have seen the TV with the gallery wall around it. Now we've decided we're going to get rid of our living room TV because it's super old. We literally got it for free. And we're going to put our bedroom TV that we literally never use, but it's brand new, in the living room. But we're not going to mount it. We have a light up snowboard. It's Cam's original snowboard, like the very first one he ever got, that I redid with a wood covering. So we're going to hang that above the TV. The TV is not going to be hung on the wall. It's just going to sit on the TV stand. But now this means that behind the sofa, I want a new gallery wall, but I don't want to spend any money. So we're working with this. I think I have an idea of what we're doing, or how I want this to go, but I'm not really that sure. So I've been working on this. I've measured out so you can see the measuring tape. My measuring tape isn't quite long enough, but it gives me enough of an idea to know how wide and then how tall I'm going to want this. Like I said before, it's quite a big wall, and our sofa is also quite low. So I need this to fill up the space without it looking cluttered. I like how spaced out it is. I think there's one frame for sure, maybe two, that I'm going to try to paint brown. That way it just kind of works better with the overall feeling, or maybe I'll do one brown and then one kind of gold. I'm not sure yet, but that's what we're going to do. It's how we're going to start. A lot of these frames are actually wood from thrift stores that I painted black, so I'm hoping I can kind of get it back to being brown, getting it back to either this red or the dark brown. That way it just blends in better together. Right now, the way it looks, there's way too much black frames, especially this top corner. It's literally nothing but black frames, so it looks really odd. One of the frames in the gallery wall is actually this one, and as you can see, it doesn't have any glass. Now, this is a DIY I've been wanting to try. I just never really had a reason to. So, as soon as I saw this frame, I knew it was going to be perfect for the gallery wall and also perfect for this DIY. So, what you're going to need if you want to do this is just some regular photo paper. If you do want to print at home, that's what I'm doing. Or you can go to a place like Walgreens that will print whatever print you want for this project. So I'm just going to use a 5x7, which is the perfect size for this frame, and then print out whichever image I want to use. And the fun part of this DIY is it's to make a photo look like a painting. So even if you find something in a thrift store and you really like the photo, but you wish it had a little bit more texture and looked more like a painting, this is a perfect way to do it. So you're going to get some Mod Podge. I chose to do matte just because I prefer not to have a glossy finish when it comes to anything that kind of looks vintage. I feel like with matte, it almost looks older because it doesn't have that shine to it, but it's completely up to you. You can buy Mod Podge in semi-gloss, matte, but what we're going to do is paint over the picture itself. Best way to make it look as realistic, like it's a real painting, is by doing little brush strokes that almost mimic the movement of a real painter that would be painting the florals or painting the landscape or painting the person. Being able to mimic that a little bit makes it look a lot more real and makes it look a lot more dramatic. And once you have your print printed, now it is time to add your Mod Podge. So just keeping in mind brush strokes. So adding in textures for leaves, making them almost like a 3D element. You can add some parts of the Mod Podge that are thicker than others, some more flat. You can also build it up as you want. This is how mine turned out. I definitely made mine have texture in some areas and a little bit flatter texture in others. I really love the way it turned out, and then you can just add it to your frame and it's ready to hang. I think the texture is so cool. It adds so much interest to the frame. You can always put something in the back. If yours is a little bit deeper, I would suggest putting maybe like a little piece of cardboard that fits around it, just so it's nice and snug. I'm quite lucky I have the little nails, so I just push them in closed, and my frame is staying perfectly fine. Yeah, it looks so cute. I love this, and I'm super excited to get this on the wall. Now that we don't have the TV stand here, we do need a place to put our keys and our wallets. So we already had this. It was from our old apartment. It's literally just a white shelf. But we're going to put it probably like right here. And that way we have something to actually put all of our keys and things. So this is the chessboard in question. It is wood completely. It's little bitty different pieces. So each little square is its own individual piece of wood, and then it has its own framing around it to keep everything together. There are little pieces like here on the corner that are kind of coming apart. So we do have to wood glue a little bit. We're gonna do a complete sealer over this, but it's going to be so cool. And so we're going high contrast. I have already redone our coffee table, so this is where it'll live, and I want it to be still moody and have dark tones, but not blend in with our coffee table. First thing I did was just lightly sand. You don't need to go crazy on this. And then I used just the dark walnut for the stain. I am only doing dark walnut in the darker checkerboard parts, and then I'm going to go over the entire thing with just a lighter stain that's pretty natural. Like I said, I want to add mood and drama while also it not blending in with our coffee table. Our coffee table is quite a dark, I think it's espresso is the stain that I use, so it's the darkest brown you can have. So I want there to be drama and mood to this chessboard, but not all over to where it would blend in with our coffee table. And I'm just using a cheap brush that I really don't care about. When it comes to stain, some brushes can take it and you can use them again. Others, they will always kind of bleed paint stain. So for this one, I just played it safe and I grabbed a Walmart brush that I didn't really care about. And then really this part's kind of just the tedious thing. It's going through and just kind of going with each individual one. And then you go over the entire thing, even the dark part, with a natural stain. So I used this super natural clear stain. It literally was called natural. It does make your stain a little bit darker, but I'm totally okay with it. If you find something or want to do something like this, the stain is completely up to you. I used dark walnut and I used natural, and I love the way it turned out. It looks the perfect amount of moody while also still being bright on our very dark coffee table. Since ours is on our coffee table and we do have drinks and sometimes we even eat there, I use a polyacrylic stain the same as I did for the actual coffee table. I just wanted it to be super durable just in case anything were to happen to it. Okay, so it's a different day. I have already clear coated it. It looks amazing. So this is the before. This is how we bought it at the thrift store. And this is how it looks now. It's so good. I love this. So we ended up actually going and getting a stain color. I had the darker one, as you saw. This is Special Walnut. This is the Special Walnut, and then over the entire thing is called Natural. It's both by Minwax. They're both by Minwax. Natural did make it look a little bit more yellow than I was anticipating, but it looks so cool. It's almost retro, like a vintage looking chessboard. I really, really, really love it. I am on the search for like marble chess pieces, just like the typical black and white. I think that would look so good on here with our coffee table, just because our coffee table is quite dark. This is quite dark, and I feel like having the white and the black would just kind of uplift it. It also gives a different texture because it would be a stone. Our coffee table is wood, this is wood, and having the added texture of stone, I just think would make it look just so good. I did also put a clear coat. I just put the clear coat over the top and then the sides. The back still, you can see the difference. The back doesn't have any. We do need to add little, like almost feet, those little foam feet, just so they don't scratch our coffee table. I did just redo the coffee table like maybe a month ago, so I would like to keep it nice and clean. For some reason, their audio in this is completely gone. I can't find it. So I'm just going to voice over this. I am showing you the 2 pillow covers that I'm going to use. The brown one is from Amazon, and then the red one I actually designed myself. If you don't already know this, I'm a pattern designer, so making repeating patterns for textiles is kind of my job. The 2 pillows I was just holding are going to be the ones I'm replacing. I know at the beginning of the video I said I wasn't going to replace those, but this video has actually been made over the last month, and now those 2 pillows have stains that I can't get out, so I do need to have new covers, and what a perfect time to do it now. Just a pro tip, if you are interested in getting new covers for your pillows, always size up in the insert. So this is a 16 by 16 cover, which means the insert needs to be 18 by 18. It just gives you that overall full look that I really love. And also, I just want to show you the details of my pillow that I designed. It's from my manufacturer, and I've never ordered anything from them, and I really liked it. I'm debating adding pillows to my shop, so let me know in the comments if it's something you would be interested in. But without further ado, let me give you the entire room reveal.